Identical all the way up to the age. Stefan's a little bit older, which could that maturity give him the edge in this one?
This middleweight bout is brought to you by Jackson County Tow. Been serving the Metro for over 20 years. Big or small, we're always on our toes. Fighting out of the blue corner, Michael Banks! Fighting out of the red corner, Stefaan Jefferson! Your referee for this fight is Robert Hastings.
Round number one. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black and blue trunks for Michael Banks. Black and gray trunks for Stefaan Jefferson.
We got the big boys in here. I love this. I love whenever you got two strikers sitting right there with an open stance.
Big swings from Banks. Walked right into that takedown. Now closed guard. Jefferson takes top position.
Jefferson doing a good job of just kind of controlling right here on the ground. He's keeping everything driving forward, bringing him to the cage. Being able to control the bottom guy is very difficult. As you see, you believe that, you believe that Banks has the control, but Stefaan is actually hooking the top of the head, hooking the bottom, and able to position himself in for these strikes that you see happening.
A very low closed guard held by Michael Banks, now walking up his guard. See the overhooks from the bottom. It's a defensive position, but it's limiting Jefferson's ability to throw. Jefferson trying to stack. There's the left hand partially getting through. Open guard now for Michael Banks. Banks staying active with his bottom game. Short right hand from flat on his back. Very patient is Stefaan Jefferson, working from this open guard. Again, trying to walk up the guard is Michael Banks. Banks trying to grab both ankles, thought about it, then thought against it.
Stefaan needs to get his hand off the ground. That's going to allow, there he goes, right there.
Banks was posturing for the armbar, back to his feet. Now caught in a suplex position, Banks takes himself to the canvas. Into the gable grip for Stefaan Jefferson, trying to stay very heavy. Banks looking now, guillotine. Tough to hit it from this angle, trying to step over. You see the positioning, looking very closely as referee Robert Hastings. A little tighter on the guillotine now. Off of the neck, Banks still fishing for it. Now that's under the throat.
Banks is keeping his body flat, which is not curling it up. If he curls his head to the back of Stefaan, it's going to make it tight, but keeping it flat like that didn't allow him to get the leverage he needed to get the finish. But Stefaan is doing a great job of controlling the bottom hip to not allow him to Banks to base up.
Banks was trying to roll for a mount of guillotine, couldn't find it. Now gable grips from the back. Full mount now for Stefaan Jefferson, trying to turn defense into offense, and he does it on cue. Banks turns, now back mount, one hook in for Stefaan Jefferson. Now both hooks in, and there's the full back mount. Now Jefferson thinking rear naked choke. Has his arms X through.
Yeah, it's tough to see right here, but he's very, he got the tap.
There is the tap, and there is the win. The rear naked choke victory for Stefaan Jefferson.
Yeah, it was very good right there. Stefaan faced a little adversity being on bottom, throwing out the guillotine or getting the guillotine put on him. He remained calm. He sat there and knew that he just had to inch his way into the position. Once he got to the position, he locked in a submission, extended his opponent out, and ended up getting the classic rear naked choke. Good composure, good knowledge of a fighter, and this is going to be a bright future for this one.
Michael Banks definitely had his moments on the ground in that fight. You see a look of bemusement. That's a disappointed smile on Banks' face. Perhaps he felt the victory was his. Good tenacity from Jefferson. Jefferson keeping his composure, Xing through his arms, and then getting the rear naked choke finish after defending the choke attempt from Banks.
You know, if Banks would have, if he would have did a crunch maneuver in that guillotine, it would have locked it in a lot tighter. But him leaning his back allowed Jefferson to get his neck out and body free to get the finish ultimately at the end.
Here's Jason Nivens.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended. 2 minutes and 54 seconds of the first round. Your winner by tap out, rear naked choke, out of the red corner, Stefaan Jefferson!
Stefaan can smile, you know, he just won. You gotta understand.
He was all business entering, and he's all business exiting. Stefaan Jefferson, not without adversity, but showing real character and showing good skill on the ground, finishing with that tight rear naked choke. Tonight's fight replay is presented by Major Pack, and there is the ending.
Man, he had the rear naked choke in. He extended his opponent out almost completely flat. Did a fantastic job. I mean, right here, he did a good job of controlling the posture on top, keeping his body pressure forward. He did a great job of defending the guillotine. You know, again, Banks put his shoulders on the mat when he was in the guillotine instead of curling up. But Stefaan knows where he's at inside these positions, and this is where he strives and builds, and that is why he got that highlight reel finish.
The winner by way of first round rear naked choke with just 6 seconds remaining in the opening round. Stefaan Jefferson defeats Michael Banks.